All right, everybody, welcome to our Volusion training today. We're discussing SSL certificates, which also stands for a Secure Sockets Layer. And I want to talk about what that is, why it's important, and whether or not you need it on your site, because this does not apply to everybody who has a website. They don't necessarily need to have an SSL, although they can. But it has some pros and cons, and we'll talk about those, okay? So first of all, I don't know if you can see my screen real well, but I'm going to read this a couple of these opening statements to you. It says an SSL certificate is a key component for a safe, secure e-commerce site. Adding an SSL certificate will protect your business and boost customer confidence by safely encrypting your customers' most sensitive data. Okay, so it's an added measure of security on your website is really what it is. But I want to tell you, it's non-essential if your merchant is PayPal. Okay, so if you're using PayPal to facilitate transactions on your website, then you don't need one of these. Which is why many of you who are listening to this maybe never had this discussion with their coach, because it was decided before that PayPal would be their merchant provider. And when somebody goes to check out on the website, rather than paying for the product right there on the site, it redirects them to PayPal to pay for it and then redirects them back to the website. That's okay. We make that recommendation to newer Volusion users because it's a whole lot easier than setting up a merchant account. It's cheaper, a little more efficient to start with. And so if you fall into that category where you're just using PayPal right now, then you don't need an SSL. But if you want to get your own merchant account through a bank or a credit union, and you want to accept payment through your site, then you have to get an SSL. It's not even an option to you. You can't process payments directly on your website on Volusion unless you have an SSL in place. And all it is, guys, just so you know what kind of security you're getting, is when somebody goes to a checkout page on your site and they're looking to buy something, they've added several things to their cart, for example, and it takes them to where they check out. And usually a common checkout page would, have somebody putting in their name and their address, their contact information, their email and phone number, and also their payment details, their credit card information. That information, if you have an SSL, is then encrypted, which means it's hidden in computer speak. So the information then is cloaked or hidden and then processed through another website or a database so that hackers can't go in and take that information. So it just further prevents data thieves from taking your customers' information. It is a requirement if payment is going to be processed on your site. Like I said, if you're just using PayPal, PayPal already has that in place. They already have an SSL. It's already totally secure, so there's no need to get it. So remember, just so that we're all clear, PayPal users, exclusive PayPal users don't need this. Merchant account users who process payments directly on their site do need this. Now, also to be clear, I recommend to everybody to have a merchant account at some point, to have direct payment processing on your site at some point. In the long run, it actually does turn out to be cheaper. And it is a more efficient means to process payments. Can heighten your conversion rate a little bit. There's definitely some pros to having a merchant account on your site. The big con is it takes longer to set up, and it costs money, usually on a monthly level. Usually you have to pay whatever it is, 15 or 20 bucks a month. Okay, sometimes more, 25 or 30 bucks depending on your merchant account. And for you guys that are just launching your site brand new, you don't have enough traffic to where the heightened conversion rate is really going to help you all that much from a merchant account and an SSL. So a lot of you guys just opt to use PayPal, and it's great. At some point in the future, this will be important. Okay. All right. So let's talk about when you need to when you need an SSL. You need an SSL just probably prior to your launch if you're not using PayPal. Okay, that's when you need to get it. You need to have some sort of payment processing in place, and if you're not using PayPal, this needs to be done prior to launch. How much does it cost? Well, usually, and I'll take you down to sort of the price points with Volusion. Usually, it's like $90 to $100 a month. If you get it for a couple of years, it's $150 a year. You can also get a pro SSL. You can get some different upgrades and stuff. You guys don't need that. And in actuality, when you're working with us in the coaching program, we'll save you the $90. We'll just go get it for you, and you won't pay a thing. Normal Volusion customers would. If you went out there and you were using Volusion on your own, you would pay $90 a year for your SSL or more. We can get it for you for free. But we're only going to do that in the case where you need it and you have a merchant account. And if you don't, then we're not going to set that up just because there's not a reason to. You definitely don't need to have an SSL if you don't have that merchant account. I know I've repeated that multiple times, but I want to make sure that's clear. Okay, let's talk about the how to set up. If you do have a merchant account and you need to get this set up, you need to simply email your coach and let them know that you need an SSL. And your coach will take care of the rest. They will contact our support department. They'll process it through Volusion. We'll pay for it. We'll get it installed. It can take 2 or 3 business days to get installed. And then once it's done, we'll let you know. Visibly to the customer, there's really no difference except for one. And I want to show you guys something. Okay. One thing you'll notice, I'm going to take you to gap.com for just a second. Surely most of you guys have heard of Gap before, right? The big clothing retailer. Well, notice their website here, and I want you to notice something. Well, let me say this: a page of a site that's protected by an SSL will start with an address of HTTPS. Okay, like this. Let me show you this real quick. Okay, so, a normal site is like this, right? That's like a normal looking website. That's normal protocol for a site. A page of a site that has an SSL looks like this. The only difference is right here, you'll notice the second one has an added S, which is to show an added layer of security. So on a Volusion website, if you have an SSL installed, your security is only on your checkout page or your checkout pages. So you won't see HTTPS anywhere else on the site. You're only going to see that on the checkout page. I bring this up because Gap, a major retailer that does millions upon millions in online sales, does it the exact same way. If you look at their address here, and I know this is kind of small, but they don't have an HTTPS on their homepage or their category pages or their product pages. They just have an HTTP. And you'll notice there's this little icon here. I'm going to circle red around this little icon. Hold on just a sec. Whoops. Get back to Gap. You see this little icon right up here? I know it's probably tiny on your screen, but look closely with me. It's a little eye in a circle on the Chrome browser. And right now, the way it is with Chrome is if the SSL is installed throughout the site, you get this little eye, and it says something like this. Oh shoot, I lost it. Hold on. Let me open it back up. I don't know if you guys can read this very well because it's small, but it says your connection to this site is not secure. And it says you should not enter any sensitive information on this site. For example, passwords, credit cards, because it could be stolen by attackers. I realize it says that, but guys, remember, Gap is a multi-million dollar company. They do millions of dollars in sales online. And yet they have this little notice. You might have that little notice on your site too. But watch this. Watch this with Gap. Okay, so if I go to their checkout, I've already added something to my cart. So if I go to the checkout page, this is their shopping cart, and this will be the exact same thing on your Volusion site. Notice what happens. Up here at the top right, you get a little lock symbol, and it says secure connection. Why does it say secure connection there? Because look here, it says HTTPS, which means Gap has installed some sort of an SSL on their checkout page to or to make sure that there's security enough when a credit card is processed. They don't have their SSL installed throughout the website. So the question I get from clients a lot is, hey, my site's not secure. I even have an SSL installed and it says it's not secure. It is secure. And so is Gap's website. The only place where an SSL even matters is when you're putting in sensitive data, and that's at the checkout page. So when we install an SSL onto your site, I promise you your site's secure, and you're going to get to your checkout page, and lo and behold, guess what's going to happen? It's going to say HTTPS, and it will be secure, and it will not hurt your conversion rate. It can only help your conversion rate, okay? So, guys, I'm telling you, that's why we do SSLs. Gap does it the exact same way we do. I could go to multiple e-commerce sites that would do it the same. Occasionally, you'll see an e-commerce site that's secure all throughout, but that could be for different reasons. That could be because you can enter sensitive information on multiple pages. For the types of sites you guys run, you're running an e-commerce site where the credit card information and the sensitive information is added at the checkout page, and that's the page we're going to secure, okay? So just to summarize and to clarify here before all of you guys start emailing your coach saying, hey, get me an SSL, stop and ask yourself the question, A, do I need one? How do you know if you need one? Well, if you're only using PayPal as your merchant right now, you do not need an SSL. If you are using a merchant account exclusively through a bank and you're processing credit cards directly on the site, you do need an SSL. And which one should you start with? We recommend you just start with PayPal. As you get bigger, you and your coach can have a discussion about when you need to implement some kind of a merchant account. And that's our position on it right now. Okay? All right. So that should be good enough. Again, if you need one, please email your coach. We can get that processed. We're not going to charge you anything for it. That's just the bonus of being in our coaching program. We have such a good relationship with Volusion that we can make sure you guys get one for free when it applies. Okay? Okay, so I'm going to turn off the recording. If you're watching this recorded, thank you for coming along. Please email your coach with any other questions. And if you are here live with me, I'll keep it open for questions for just a minute longer after we get done. Okay? Thanks, guys. Bye.